become of us? Are we no longer natural? I hear people comment in the comment boards that, you know, we are no longer sweet natural living, we are now sweet powder living, or sweet unnatural living, or whatever. And let's address it. What's going on? You know, what's happened to the good old sweet natural living guys living in the jungle eating fruit? What's going on? Alright, so I'm just cruising in the car. Just finished a workout at the gym, and earlier today I did a very nice run out in like awesome autumn weather here in Norway. Oh, the camera is slipping. And of course, if you want to follow my running, you can go to my running channel, The Lone Trail. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the topic at hand, sweet natural living, what's going on there. And you know, let's face it, change is inevitable. Change happens, right? We all change. It's very natural to change. So if something stays the same for a long time, well, that doesn't actually happen. That never happens. So that's natural, definitely, for us to change and evolve. And you got to realize also that back in the day when I was eating whatever crap, and I found the raw vegan diet, I found the fruit-based diet, I was willing to take a leap of faith at the beginning, and then I was researching and learning and investigating and experimenting, and eventually I was able to adopt the raw vegan fruit-based lifestyle, and I loved it. The camera keeps slipping around. And so my point here is that I embraced change back then. I tried it. I went full on 100% into it, raw vegan diet. And now it's very much the same situation ongoing, that when I learn something new that appeals to me, when I learn something that makes sense to me, I go for it. I go for it. And of course there's challenges with that, because there's dogma and there's sort of religious ideas, especially around the raw vegan diet. A lot of people are very religiously into it, and anytime you go out of that sort of realm, then people are going to start accusing you of blasphemy, right? Doing something unorthodox. And I am doing a fair few things that are unorthodox, but I've never actually wanted to adhere to any religion or any sort of dogmatic way of looking at health. So here's the thing. To some extent, we are no longer walking the talk, so to speak, because I am of the opinion that a fruit-based diet based around mostly just tropical fruits is the ideal diet. And that was awesome and fine for us as long as we were in the tropics with access to that high quality fruit. And I'm talking not just like in a theoretical sense, I'm actually talking by experience. Like when I'm there and I have access to that tropical fruit, it's awesome. I love eating just fruit. There's nothing for me that seems to be lacking when I'm eating that fruit. Here in Norway, it's not the same thing. So in a sense, if I were to really embrace that original sweet natural living, I would have to be in the tropics, and I'm not. And I'm happy I'm not. I'm very happy here in Norway. I'm doing other things. I'm spending my days doing other things than hunting for fruit. And it was awesome as long as it lasted, but now I have work to do. I love it. And I also have training to do. I'm taking my training very seriously, and as I said, you can follow my training over on the Lone Trail YouTube channel. We're gonna do a sharp turn now, so let's see if the camera stays put. There we go. Just there we go. And so I'm loving my life right now, but it's not in 100% accordance with optimal diet and optimal lifestyle, of course, because you can't have an optimal lifestyle outside of our biological niche in the tropics. I'm in a temperate climate, so of course not. It's not going to be optimal. But here's the thing. I still think that I'm onto something that I wasn't onto before in terms of various nutritional issues with the strictly fruit diet. I no longer actually believe that an all fruit diet is optimal. I've talked about this in the past. I think we would naturally eat termites, probably a little bit, and greens, and there's a lot of things to consider. But generally speaking, at the moment, I am sort of tweaking my diet, adding in supplements, protein powder, and of course for performance when I'm out running, I'm also using refined sugar as a running fuel. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of things that aren't strictly speaking natural. Yeah, so in a sense I'm not perfectly natural, but I think it's still pretty damn good. And although I would still say that it would be better if you were in the tropics eating tropical fruit grown to perfection, if you can find that ripeness, perfect ripeness, and eating, you know, probably termites and fresh fruit off the trees and living out in the jungle. But very few people do that. I certainly don't do that, and that means that I need to make adjustments for my lifestyle. I'm home now. Turn off the car. So I need to make adjustments to fit my current lifestyle. And I think this lifestyle that I'm leading here in Norway is a more normal lifestyle that most people around the world can do, you know. Most people can't go to the tropics and have like the most awesome fruit all day long, all year round. But here in Norway, I think it's still possible to live very healthfully, but we do need to take action on certain supplemental strategies to be able to be healthy. And that's what I'm doing now. So it's not actually a step backwards. I don't see it as that. I don't see it as a step back in terms of I used to live in Thailand and Australia eating tropical fruits and I was so healthy and now I'm not eating healthy anymore. Quite on the contrary, to some extent, I think that I'm eating healthier now than I was back then on the basis of particular nutrients. But of course, back then I had the benefit of eating a lot of fresh, ripe fruit, which certainly is much better than the bananas I'm eating here and the cooked sweet potatoes and potatoes, etc. So certainly things have changed, but I'm not the least worried about it. I'm actually very excited, and I think you should be too. And so if you're a follower of this channel, or if you watch my videos, I suggest that you stay tuned, because things are always changing and I'm always learning. And anyone who points finger and goes like, look at that, he's doing this, or you're doing that, that's wrong. Any person who does that, you don't want to listen to them. And if you're one of those people, that's just ridiculous, because pointing fingers is just the absolute, it's just total ignorance, because you cannot necessarily see what another person has been through, why another person is doing what they're doing. That's why I rarely, if ever, criticize anyone, because I don't have time to do it. I'm busy doing my own thing, and I don't want to do it because I don't know where they're coming from and how they're thinking and what their reasoning is. And I'm sure that they're all, most people are indeed seeking truth, seeking improvement, seeking betterment, and doing the best they can. So that being said, stick to this channel, subscribe if you haven't done so already, of course. I am going to do some of the videos that I said I was going to do that I haven't done, where I talk about the supplements I'm taking. We're going to talk about protein powder a little bit, vegan protein powder, of course. I'm strictly vegan. I mean, some people comment stuff like, oh, he's going to start eating meat any second. No, that is not going to happen anytime soon or ever. I'm definitely not into that. But I am into supplementing my diet. I am into using protein powder. I am using oil. I'm using refined sugar. I'm doing a lot of things, and I'm a little bit more relaxed as well about the occasional sort of going off what I consider optimal, because I do believe in the principle of what you do most of the time is what matters the most, and what you do sometimes doesn't matter as much. And I'm not interested in being strict and being like orthodox and doing everything the right way, and I never was. The reason I was so strict with being fruitarian back in the day wasn't because I wanted to adhere to the fruitarian religion. It was because I was inspired about it, and I actually felt my best, and most of all, I enjoyed my food the most when it was just fruit. Then I came to Norway, and the rest is history, right? So that's my experience, and I know people are living in Norway and other places similarly to that and are doing the raw vegan diet, and I'm not saying that that's wrong. They can do that, but for me, nope. That is just the fruit here is just not satisfactory to my taste standard. I just cannot do it. And so that's why I go to some other foods. And as I said previously, I don't think it's actually that big of a sacrifice. I actually think that I'm healthier in some respects now than I ever was. Certainly, I'm fitter than ever. That's for sure. Oh, maybe you want to see outside of the car as well, not just inside the car. Here we are at the farm. Beautiful Norway. That's where I live up there. That's where my parents live there. My grandparents live over there. We have a tractor. And life is just really, really good. Just enjoying training, working, and living life. And check it out, here we have our banana hole for a few days. Check it out, bananas. We have our bananas, and now I'm gonna go up and make dinner. Sweet potatoes and potatoes are on the menu as usual. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you're having an awesome day. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Stay tuned for more. See ya.